Hi everyone, it's me, Diana, the Doll Fairy. Welcome back to my channel. Things have been a little crazy for me lately. In the past month, I've gotten married, moved into a new space, and traveled on my honeymoon. So as you might imagine, I haven't had a whole lot of time to focus on my dolls and my art projects. However, my new workspace is just about ready for me to get back to creating, so there will be a lot to look forward to on the Doll Fairy channel in the coming months. We'll talk more about that later in the video. In today's video, I'll be recreating a face-up for one of my absolute favorite smart dolls to ever exist, and that is Envisage. When Envisage was first teased by creator Danny Choo on his Instagram, which was a couple years ago now, it's been a while, I instantly fell in love with her look. In fact, there's actually never been another smart doll, or BJD in general, that I immediately loved and absolutely needed quite as strongly. This photo of her prototype was inscribed on my brain as I waited months for the doll to eventually go into production and prayed that she wouldn't be shelved and only ever released as a one-of-a-kind doll in the garage section of the site, because the garage prices are just too high for me. Anyway, when Envisage finally went into production, of course after the process of tweaking the face up for the paint masks and everything, the end product always turns out a little different from the prototype. As you might know if you've seen my unboxing video for Envisage, who came to me as an Only the Brave randomized doll before Envisage was officially released, I was still absolutely smitten with her design regardless. Okay. However, when someone reached out to me asking about commissioning a face-up based on the original prototype version of Envisage, I couldn't say no. I really wanted to see how close I could get to recreating that original version of Envisage that I first fell in love with. I'm using a cinnamon COS head, which is the sculpt used for Envisage. First, I'll need to cut the eye holes. I'll be using an extra narrow blade to cut the vinyl, which will make it a lot easier, but a regular X-Acto knife would work too if you're really careful. I use a hairdryer to heat up the vinyl head until it's soft and a bit squishy. Now I can begin cutting. I need to start in the center of the eye vinyl, first cutting a small hole and then slowly and incrementally widening it. This process is pretty slow going because if you try to get it done too quickly, you risk accidentally cutting into the vinyl of the face. If the knife requires a lot of force in order to cut the vinyl, simply apply more heat. Once the eye holes are cut as neatly as possible, I use Mr. Super Clear Sealant to spray the head in 2 to 3 separate layers in order to prepare the surface for the pigments to stick. MSC is very dangerous to your lungs, so I always do this outside with a respirator mask on. And now it's time for the face-up. I'm using Prismacolor watercolor pencils and starting with a light brown shade for the initial sketch. The first step is the hardest part. Laying out where the lines will go, getting them to be proportioned just right, and also matching them up as symmetrically as possible with the opposite side of the face are the most time-consuming and sometimes frustrating parts of the face-up process. But if you take your time with this step and set a good foundation, the rest of the work will go much more smoothly as you build up the layers. The main differences between the prototype and the production version of Envisage lie in the shape of the eyes and the sharpness of the lines. The prototype version was likely hand-painted by an artist on Danny's team. The eye shape is more rounded and the line work is softer. The eyeshadow has more of a gradation, whereas the production version has the eyeshadow area more clearly defined. The differences are subtle, but they give the character a slightly different vibe. I'm focusing on making the eye shape as much like the prototype as possible. Before we continue, I'd like to take a moment to tell you about the sponsor of today's video, Skillshare. Skillshare is an online learning community with thousands of inspiring classes for creative and curious people like us. Skillshare classes include a combination of video lessons and a class project, along with feedback from a community of millions. Most of the classes on Skillshare are under 60 minutes, with short lessons to fit your busy schedule, which I find very helpful. I originally joined Skillshare intending to learn more crafting skills, like sculpting, crocheting, needle felting, and honing my drawing and design skills. And in addition to things like that, I've also been learning about other really useful skills like cooking and organizing too. Recently, I've been wanting to step up my game in terms of designing clothing and making it into a reality for my dolls, so I took a class with the co-founders of Bellavance NYC, Nolan Bellavance and Ava Hama, entitled The First Steps of Fashion Design, From Concept to Illustration. This class not only shows you how to create fashion illustrations that will accurately convey the themes, shapes, and textures of garments, but also how to do so quickly and efficiently, which is really important when creating a collection or working in the fashion industry. This class has got me really excited for creating and sharing a lot more of my original design ideas, both for dolls as well as in general. As part of my project for this class, here's a sketch I came up with using the techniques I learned. What do you think? Have you tried Skillshare before? What classes do you recommend? Let me know in the comments below, because there's always so much more to learn. Right now, Skillshare is offering a special promotion. The first 1,000 people to use the link in my description box will get a 1-month free trial of Skillshare. I highly encourage you to click on the link and try out Skillshare today. I love it. While I work on the Faceup and subsequent layers, let's take this opportunity to chat a bit about what to look forward to in the near future of this channel. First, I want to acknowledge something really exciting. This channel has reached 100,000 subscribers. I've been waiting and hoping for years that I would get to this goal, and I'm so happy to have finally reached it. Thank you so much to everyone who has subscribed, and thank you so much for watching my videos. Your support and encouragement mean the world to me, even if I can't always read or acknowledge all of your comments. I'm planning to talk about all of that more in a future video where I do a sort of channel retrospective and look back at how far we've come on this channel. Now that we've reached this exciting goal and I'm working on resettling into normal life after my wedding, I'm feeling so excited to get back to my doll projects with new vigor. As I've mentioned before, the way overdue dolls of the winning designs from my Avatar-themed design challenge are first in the queue. They're in progress and will hopefully be ready to reveal to you soon. There are 2 of them since I couldn't choose just one winner. Netsilik, a legendary figure from a water tribe, designed by Liz Granado, and Jihara from the Fire Nation, designed by Rina Accion. These girls have been living in my mind and my projects in progress basket rent-free for like a year and a half now, and I will complete these dolls if it's the last thing I do. I also have 2 Smart Doll projects coming soon. Both face-ups for these dolls have already been completed, and now it's a matter of designing and creating their outfits and accessories. One of these is an original character I'm working on creating, and actually I also need to build her a body out of Cortex pieces, so that might take a bit longer. The other one is my own spin on an extremely well-known character beloved by many. You might even say she's an idol of sorts. As for my Destination Disney series, where I create dolls inspired by iconic attractions and locations in the Disney parks, I would like to do another one of these soon. I've had Disney parks on the brain lately since it's summertime, so maybe by the fall I'll get a chance to work on this next installment. I also have another Disney adjacent series in mind that I'm working on conceptualizing now. I'm not sure if I'll give this series a different name or have it be an extension of the Destination Disney series, because it is related, but the actual projects will be different. It will mostly involve fashion design and sewing, and that's all I can really say about that for now, but I'm really excited about it. Since I'm working in a new space, I'm thinking of doing a mini room tour to show you once it's all set up. I don't actually have a ton of space or my own room for my studio, as we're in a 1-bedroom apartment, but I've carved out my own little area for my workspace and it's pretty cute, so I might as well share it with you. Some of my quote-unquote studio is remaining in my old room at my parents' house, including my diorama and the majority of my Smart Doll accessories, so I'm hoping to work on my diorama again soon too. My intention is to also be sewing a lot more and selling Smart Doll clothing more regularly. Another thing on my to-do list is that I've been meaning to get on TikTok for a really long time now, but it always eludes me. I don't know if I'm just an old person now, but each time I start browsing on there, I feel like a total outsider. But I really would like to create a presence on the platform since it's so popular, and it seems like that's just where it's at these days. So I'm planning to start by editing some of my existing videos into bite-sized TikToks and Reels, but this is also a huge undertaking that I'm not really sure about yet. So if you are on TikTok and you make doll content, feel free to leave me your info in the comments below. I really need to find the doll community on there if I'm to make any sense of this app. Thank you. And of course, I have like 5,000 other ideas floating around in my mind that I won't be getting to anytime soon, but that's the general gist of what's next for the Doll Fairy in the next few months. I'm really excited about it, and I hope you are too. Let me know in the comments what you're most looking forward to, and feel free to share other ideas that you have as well. To get back to the face up, you'll notice here that I'm using a terracotta colored pencil to add some deeper reddish tones to the eyelashes and eyebrows too. Envisage has red tones in her makeup to go with the sunset orange wig she wears, and it appears that the prototype has even more prominent shades of red throughout the eye makeup. I really like the depth of color that this terracotta gives to the face. The eyeshadow has tones of red, yellow, orange, and brown as well, giving her an overall very autumnal and warm look. When you see her with the wig, you'll see how beautifully these subtle additions of color look on her. So now we're pretty much at the end of this face up. You'll notice that I really gave the eyeshadow and lips a lot of careful attention and used a good amount of layers to make sure the color was vibrant. I think it actually looks darker and more drastic on camera than it did in real life, but at least this way you can clearly see what I did and how it differs from the production version of the doll. I didn't get to keep this doll as it was done as a commission, one of only 2 commissions I've ever done so far, which is a bit regrettable simply because I really like how she turned out. I love that her makeup has a softer look to it, and the rounder eye shape makes her look really cute. I really enjoyed working on this though, especially because I really love Envisage, and I really obsessed over that prototype when the photos first showed up on Danny's Instagram. I hope that this special girl is loved, and I thank the commissioner for the opportunity to work on this project. Thank you so much to my patrons as well, whose support helps make all of this doll magic possible. I'd also like to remind you that the TheDollFairy now has an official shop with apparel, accessories, charms, stickers, and lots of cool stuff for sale. I designed all of the merch on TheDollFairy.com, so head over to check it out and sign up for the email list to find out the inside scoop about upcoming sales and events. And thank you so much for watching, everyone! I hope you're looking forward to everything coming up on the channel soon. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't yet, and I'll see you next time for more doll magic. Bye!